Yes, I will show you the preview. Definitely, I will show you the preview for it, how it is looking, what we are going to build. And yes, give me a moment. It will take probably 2 minutes um to reduce this noise. Yeah. Yes, mate. I am in Yamlur. Yes. Will you discuss the wallet system? We'll not discuss the wallet system. We'll discuss the card system, Aman. We'll try to. Awesome, mega awesome. Um, we will not have the backend for it. It is just a front end masterclass that we would be having, right? So what I'll do is I'll quickly introduce myself. Right, I will disable chat for some time. Right, I am disabling chat for some time. Mm, no messages. Right, I have disabled chat for some time. Let's use reactions and questions for some time. I'll quickly introduce myself, set the agenda for the things so we all are hearing it, right? And then we will start with the session. And then I'll enable the chat also, no issues. Right. So my name is Siddharth. I work here at Scalar Academy as a tech lead. My job, my roles and responsibilities are to make sure that we build different platforms that our learners use, our internal teams use. And I joined here as a front end lead. My responsibilities as a front end lead are to make sure that the code base that we have is up to the mark. We have a good amount of front end in the code base, uh, which works well, which is good. And we use React over here. And I have been working in this industry for 8 years. I started my career with Sapient, went to DirectEye, then went to Qbol, and now I'm working over here. Majorly worked on JavaScript, Vue.js, Angular, React in my career. I work on Ruby on Rails as well now as a full stack developer. So this is something about me. Yeah. Right. So the agenda for the today's class is that we would be building a e-commerce website, which is something similar to Amazon, and we would be doing the front end of it. We'll do hands-on coding in the class. We will not. I'll try to make sure that everyone can follow and they can do hands-on coding, right? Yeah. And we learn some basic concepts, very less theory. I'll try to keep as less theory as possible for everyone's benefit. I know people get agitated if we don't do hands-on coding, so we'll do that. And right, that is mostly it about the agenda. You need to have some knowledge of JavaScript, CSS beforehand. I'll give you the CSS files so you don't need to write CSS. And React, very few basics are required. But the basics of how Ajax works and all of those things are required. If you don't understand what is happening, don't worry. Just follow what code snippets we are using, and probably you can learn those over the period of time. Right? Awesome. So now let us do one fun thing is right. So I have enabled chat for everyone. Yes. Will you share the code base? Yes, Ashutosh, I will. And we would not be sharing the recording, so you don't get the recording for the session, but you get the code base for the session, so you can utilize it. Store. We are going to utilize um, context API, Shivani, in this class, right? I'll try to cover that, but it is going to be in the end. So if we cover the most of the parts, then we would be, yeah. Awesome. So how many of you agree to this statement that JavaScript is probably the strongest language, strongest programming language available in the market? Yes, no. A lot of people are saying yes, some are saying no. For people who saying no, uh, subscribed users do get recordings. Yes, yeah, depends on task in hand. Awesome. So what we'll do is, uh, I'm sending a. Um, I'll do one thing. I'm sending a link in chat. All of you, just go and check. So I'll prove it to you why JavaScript is the most powerful language. Go and interact with the page once. Loading or too much traffic, I think. I'll do one thing. I'll share my screen and show it to you all. Yeah, give me 1 second. Yeah, I think it is because of lot of traffic on the website. It's not something I built. It is just a website that I came across. Can you see my screen, everyone? Yeah. Oh, it broke. Give me 1 second. Can you all stop going to the website for a minute? Let me delete it from the pinned message so it stops loading, and I'll share my screen and show it to all of you. Give me 1 second. Can you all stop? Yeah, right. Amok says no bhag raha hai. Right. That is exactly what would happen. See, I'll share my screen. Did not plan for this, that so much traffic it will start breaking bad website. So see, we have this, we try to click on no, it doesn't let us click on it, and when we click on yes, it says yes, you are right. Okay, so basically JavaScript is so powerful that you send it to someone you like and it will get you committed. So is there any other language that is more powerful than this? No, right? I have not seen. See, and the amount of code that you had to write to get committed. This is the amount of code that you had to write in JavaScript. So if you want, yeah, if you want, send it to some people who you like and you are committed. Yeah. So Aditya says Bhailang. Bhailang, I have not used it, but it will not, it can be also as powerful as this. Right. Yep. Right. So now, can you please go slow while sharing the screen? Definitely, Kunal. Definitely. We'll do that. Now, awesome. So let me show all of you what we are going to build. Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'll go to the branch that we are going to build. Will you deploy the website? No, we will not deploy the website. Yeah, I am sharing my screen. Give me 1 second. Yep. Is my screen uh, visible on what we are going to build? Yes, I am exactly doing that. Yeah, awesome. So now this is what we are going to build. This is just a clone. It doesn't have any backend. It is only has front end, and we are going to use dummy APIs. These are all dummy APIs that we are going to use. So we have this carousel that we have is going to be there. We have the list of categories. We have a product page which shows all the products that are there. Yeah, and we have a add cart functionality, and you have a cart page, so you can add remove things from the cart. It's not completely finished product, it's just something which we'll use to learn, right? I will provide you with the API, Harsha. You can use the same API. Seems interesting, everyone? that we are going to build. Everyone is excited. You all want to do hands-on coding on it, right? There is one no as well. There is no login and authentication in this. Probably in the upcoming master classes we can build it. Yeah. UI library, yes. Awesome. So now that we have know what we are going to build, uh, what I will do is I will give you all the repo from where you can clone the repository. It is an empty repository. Yes, I stopped sharing my screen. This is the repository that we would be using. So please go ahead and clone this repository in your local, right? If you can't not clone it, download it. Downloading will also help. So go and clone or download this repository, and you would have the code base set up on your end. Yeah. Am I audible? Awesome. Okay. Right. Just clone this repo, and you would have sharing. I'm not sharing right now, Deepthi. I'm just saying that clone this repo. I'll share my screen as well for everyone's sake. Right. So this is the repo. Just go and clone it, and then do yarn install, and then we will do payment gateway in the next masterclass. Yeah. Sahil, it is going to be similar to the previous masterclass. So here you would be building Amazon. How to clone, right? You can use npm as well. Yeah, you can go here on code, either download the zip and start using, or take this and go and write git clone and in the terminal, and that would be what you have to do. So git clone and this, yeah, either this or download Nikhil. Npm install also works. Install yarn install, both would work. All right. All right. So what we'll do is let's first discuss what React is, how React works, why React. I'll tell you. We'll do a basic example of React hooks, and then we'll start so that you have some context of what we are going to build, right? So what is React? What exactly is React? Why is React used? Yeah. What do after cloning? Just clone it for now, and when we start doing hands-on coding, we will use it. It's just for as a prerequisite. I told all of you to clone this. Yeah. So React is a JavaScript based UI library which is used for building single page applications, right? Why React? What is so good about React that JavaScript was not doing, right? So React is something which provides you with the ease of access of creating components. It provides you with ease of access of doing things based on states that are there in in React. JavaScript, every time you used to do some DOM manipulation, the whole page used to re-render. But React provides you with a way where you do not need to re-render the whole page, and only a specific part of the page can be re-rendered. Multiple URLs can be integrated at one page, making it a single page application. So it becomes very easy for developers to build something and for the end user to experience something because of React, because it doesn't have hard reloads every time you are doing something. And based on simple APIs, you can dynamically make your website and change things on your website, right? React has a huge amount of support from for the whole library with the developer community. We keep adding newer and newer features in React, and people keep adding building new things on React which you can use in the use over the library, so it helps you a lot. React is a very lightweight library, and it adds gives you a lot of add-ons on top of it, right? So you can use React. I have listed it. It's hard. Google. Yes, I will come to that. React, everything goes in a single direction from parent to the child. So it becomes easier for people to maintain the code base. It becomes easier for people to utilize React because it is very easy that way. In React, you can create components which can be reused across different pages so that you have the reusability of code. In React, it is easy to create dynamic applications. So these are the multiple reasons why React is easier to use, why React is getting used daily, and it is becoming famous more. It is becoming more and more famous every day, right?
Oh,
So these are the
oh,
few reasons why
boss.
React is
चार नमाज कितने
becoming the
बंदा?
most powerful and
हाँ?
popular library, front end library that is getting used. All right. So now there is a concept in React. Yeah, if you are getting some errors, we'll come to it. So just wait. Don't keep sending the same message again and again. We'll solve that. Yeah. Right. So now, yeah, wait for it. We'll solve the errors. Let me just finish what I am saying. So now in React, if you are getting errors, na, just do one thing. Don't need to create the whole thing. I'll give you a code sandbox link. You can all just go there and start using it. Okay. Give me 1 second. I will give you one code sandbox link. Wait. For people who are not able to clone things, just go to this link. It is a basic barebone React structure that you can use, right? Just use this and create the folders that are there in the repository that I've provided. You will not, if you are facing errors. So don't worry if you are facing errors. You can just create the folder structure that is there in the repository and build things. Raj, listen to what I am saying. Use this repository. What is the main reason that you choose React over Angular or Vue.js? Rishabh asked. Rishabh, the main reason is that React has a larger community support. Angular and Vue have added a lot of features which are similar to React, but this uh, React is has been there in the industry, tried and tested, and people are utilizing it day in day out now. Awesome. All right. So what we will do now is that let us try to let us try to understand what are the hooks and how hooks work, right? I will share my screen. Right. So what are hooks? Hooks are nothing but a feature that is introduced in React, which helps us have states in functional components. Now you would be thinking, what are states? States are nothing but a way for React to store the values of different variables in components, and based on the change of these state, it will re-render the whole component. So say suppose there is this component on your in your React application, and you want to re-render this this component again and again based on the value of one variable. So those would be stored in states. And those states, once the value of that variable changes, say suppose there is a variable which is a, and if its value changes from true to false, you want something to happen on the screen. So whenever this true to false changes, you want React to re-render this area again. That would be done using states. So hooks are nothing but, they are hooks. It's not in normal English, they are hooks which help you hook states to functional components and help us to build React components in a functional manner. We have we are going to use multiple hooks in our application. Let us discuss two hooks on the first go: use state and use effect. What are these two hooks? We will learn with some examples over here. Was I able to explain? Re-render, yes. So there is a question, what is re-render, Namrata is asking. So re-rendering is nothing but, say suppose there is this section, right? You want this section to be rendered again based on the value of a variable. So when a value of the variable is changed, this section would be re-rendered. And for people who are getting irritated by the chat, right, you have an enable disable chat option right there. You can ignore chat for yourself. I am not going to type anything. So if you are getting irritated by chat, go to enable disable and notify me about nothing, and you can remove that chat. Yeah, we will come to props. We'll discuss and one more thing, that we have a lot of quizzes in today's class. So all of you, please be attentive of what I teach. All the quizzes would be from what we learn in the class. Yeah. Now let us understand what is use state and use effect. Now we have imported use effect and use state. So in React, if you want to import something, you write like this. React by default gives you these functions: use effect and use state. You write import use effect, use state from React whenever you want to utilize something in your code, right? Now, now that you want to utilize this use state, let's first do you what let's learn use state. What is use state? Just bear with me for some time, and all of you can go to code sandbox and do this with me, so you can also play around with this. Yeah. Let us have a button which changes the state of this variable. Right. So now let us have this button. Let's give some name to this button. I'll explain what is happening. Don't worry. I'm just showcasing what would happen and how things are getting changed over here. Yeah. So every time we click on this, it is incrementing the value of count by 1, right? So how did we do this? What is happening? Let us discuss. So use state is nothing but a hook that is provided by React. It is an inbuilt hook provided by React. It expects a default parameter that you give it. It is a default value of the state. So you are creating a state variable count, and you are setting the value of count to 0 by default. If you set the value of this to 1 by default, it will run and come up to 1. See, you can see this, the value comes to 1. So this is the by default value that you are giving to use state. It provides you with another method which is called a set count. So it will be used to set the count variable. So every time you want to change the value of count, you will use set count and change the value of count. So you are just using set count and incrementing the value of count with 1. So what we are doing exactly over here is we are having a button, and on click of that button we are just setting the count of it, incrementing the count of it by 1 and setting it using set count, which was provided by useState. useState is a hook which is provided by React. It takes one parameter by default, which is the default value which you want to set for the state variable, and it provides you with a method which will be used to set the value of this. Does this make sense? Yes, no? Can you copy paste this code here? Some people say yeah. Why we cannot? We can. I will copy paste the code for everyone. Right. So for people who said no, let me just quickly explain this. Oh, use state is a hook which is provided by default from React, has one parameter which is the default value of this state, and a method which would be used to set the value of this state variable. That's all. Nothing more, nothing fancy that happens over here. Now we want to, what do we want to do is that we want to see what is the other hook, the use effect hook. Let us learn about the use effect hook. So use effect hook is nothing but it is a hook that you want to be called every time the value of count is changed. So you have use effect. We know the syntax. We know that it will be something like this, use effect. Now you want use effect to, right, every time the value of count is changed, you want it to do something. So we will just console.log value of count and print the value of count. Okay, every time the value of count is changed, you want this use effect to be called, this method to be called. So use effect would help you with that. I will explain again, don't worry. We will run and see what happens. I don't know what happened. Right. Right. So value of count is 0, value of count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, right. I'll come to that, Sri Harsha, right? So now use effect is nothing but it is a hook which accepts a method, which accepts a function which would be called again and again based on the value that is provided in this array over here. It is called as a depth array, dependency array. Whatever variable is there inside this dependency array, the use effect would be the method inside use effect would be called again and again based on that variable. Does this statement make sense? Use effect is nothing but it is a effect, it is a side effect of this change of the value of count. Every time count gets changed, you want this method to be called. How does this method get called again and again? Based on the value of this change of count. So this is what is happening exactly here. Now if you don't pass anything over here, na, see what would happen if you don't pass anything over here in this dependency array. What happens? You click, nothing will happen. See, value of count 0. After that, nothing happens. Can anyone tell me why did this happen? Can anyone tell me why did this happen? Right. So why this happens is use effect has a very special feature that when once the component is mounted, component is loaded, right? It will, if you don't pass anything in this array, it you keep this array as empty, then it will only be called once on the load of this component. So as soon as this component gets loaded, see this runs, and after that it doesn't run because you have not passed anything in this dependency array. But as soon as you pass something in this dependency array, right, it will run again and again based on the value of this count. So if you don't want this to be called again and again, you don't pass anything in it. If you want it to be run again and again, you pass the variable that has to be based on which it has to be changed. Yes. So now we know this concept. We understood this concept. Let us do one more thing. Let us see what happens when we have another count. We have another set state. Okay. Right. And we will have another use effect which will have count 2, value of count 2, and button which will do that for count 2 and set count 2. Yeah. Now see what happens. It prints value of count is 0, value of count 2 is 0. You click on this, only this value gets changed. You click on this, then the value of the other one gets changed. Does it make sense, everyone? What we did over here? I will copy this and send it to all of you. You can all look at the code on your own. Take 2 minutes, look at this code, try to understand this. Then we'll move forward to the next concept. We have done nothing but we have added another state count 2, have another use effect. This is just for the reference to understand how use effect and use state is working. This is not the perfectly working code. Don't judge the code over here. It's just to make you understand what is happening, right? So now we have two buttons. On click of each button, the value of count gets changed independently. So this state variable gets changed. In this state variable gets changed. That's all is what I am trying to explain. Only from state, Risham. Hooks definition, right? So what is hooks definition? Hooks are nothing but AI used to hook the state to a functional component. It helps functional components to become stateful. It helps in the React component lifecycle. Different hooks can be utilized to utilize the React component lifecycle in functional components. That's all. I just, if you refresh it, it will come from 0. I had done it already, na? That is why it was going to 6. Can you use single? Can you use single use effect for both? Let us try to do that. That is something which you should try. Yeah. Now, if you remove this, what happens? See, it will print both. Only the value of one is getting changed. On click of the other one is getting changed. So it works. Right. Now let us come to the part where our real application starts. Right. Let us come to that part. Now you are all clear with what React hooks are and everything of those concepts, right? Awesome. Please share your code. I did, Sandeep, I did. I'll send it again. This is the code. Yeah. All right. Now, now that we are clear with what hooks are, how hooks work, let us move to our application. Let us see. So, one way to create your own React app is you can use create React app to create your app. There is something which is provided by React by default. You can use npm create React app, and it will do the job for you, create a whole React application. So remember that. Or you can use this code sandbox if you are practicing, and in our case you can just go and utilize this. This is an empty repository. You can utilize this. Now let me explain to you what our code base structure is. Please be listen to me carefully. How our repository is. This is very important for everyone to learn, right? So all the packages that you want to add, go to package.json. So like we are using MDI.js, MDI React, we are using Nuka carousel, class names. All of these, whatever you want to use, would go into your dependencies in this package.json. When do you do npm install or yarn install, these are the dependencies that get downloaded, and they go to node modules, a folder named as node modules. They go to that and you utilize those, right? Now we go to our folder structure. We have a src over here in our code base. Just listen to what I am explaining for next 5 minutes. How our code base is, this is going to help you throughout the class, right? We have different folders. One is API folder, another is component, images, pages, styles, and utils, right? Now what goes in the pages is the different pages that you have. So in our application, what would be the different pages? Can anyone tell me what are the different pages that we have in our application? In this page, what are the different pages that we have? One page is our home page, another is our product page, another is our cart page, and another is our search page. There are 4 pages. We are not going to build the search page today. These are the 4 pages. So if you go over here, see, we have cart page, home page, login page, product page. We have 4. I said search page, it was login page, I'm sorry. So these are the 4 pages that you have. In each page you would have an index which would be the starting point for your page, and the different part components that are required in that page. So in our home page we have products, we have our product card, and we have our banner. See, you can see over here we have our banner, which is this carousel. We have our product cards, we have all the list of products. So these are the different pages that we have. So we will add all of those different JS files for these different pages that we have. Now there is another folder called as components. So the components folder would have the components that are going to be, that can be reusable. Those go into these. So there in the header we have account, cart, different kind of components that are there. These go to the components. Then you have different components for products. So there is an add to cart feature, there is an image slider, there is an information component that is going to be reused. So you put all of those in the components folder. There is a general components which would be utilized, like error, loader, rating, currency format. We'll come to that. These are going to go into the general folder, right? So this is, and all the assets, images go to images folder. All the CSS that you are building go over here. These are the generic CSS that you are building. So all of those go in this styles folder, and rest of the stylings would remain with the cart. See, cart item.js and cart item.scss. So these go over here. And in the utils, you will have all the utility files that you require. You will add it over here in the utils. And API
Like
has all the
half
API
around.
calls that you are going to make. You take all the APIs and put them in one file. Does it make sense, everyone, till now, what the folder structure is? Or should I explain some part? Did you not get any part? I'll explain that. Please explain again. Right. So pages would have all the single SPA pages that are there. The products page, the product page, the cart page, the home page, the login page. These are the different pages that are there. Components are the generic components that would be required in that pages that can be reused. Those would go in components. Images would have all the images that you are going to use. The styles would have generic styles. The basic styles that would be required across the website would go here. Utils would have all the utility files. Utility, see, we are going to use this calculate price, so we will create utils. You would all have used utils at a point of time in your company or anywhere. So those are the utils that go into they are like helpers which can be utilized across the components, across the pages, so they go into utils. And in the API you have nothing but the basic structure to call the API. So you have the API call. This is a generic API call that you have added, and you do these API calls using this. So you have want to get the product list, you want to get the products, all of those would be done using this API folder. The files that you are going to do API calls, you put it over here. Done. Is it clear now? Utility means helper, Narendra. Awesome. So let us do one thing. We'll start building now. We'll start building. We'll build the basic first component. Yeah. Awesome. What to do after downloading the file? Once you have done the download, just do yarn install, and then you do or npm install, and then you do yarn start or npm start. Why the separate style folder? Separate style folder is to have all the global stylings, Sandeep. Nitish, right. So Nitish's message is, I'll pin it. Thank you, Nitish, for helping us. Let's do one thing. Let's do a quick quiz. Yeah. Hello app opened? Yes, it should. Senthil, if you are getting these errors, go to Code Sandbox and utilize this. Don't waste your time with uh, running these again and again. Just go and open Code Sandbox and start coding there. Everyone who is getting errors, just go and why don't you use white command to create React app? You can do that, Sarath. If that works, no issues. You can use that. It's just a basic boilerplate that you have to utilize. You can use Code Sandbox instead. Rishi, use Code Sandbox. Utilize Code Sandbox to create your application. Use this. Yeah. Does npm do, Nitesh? Could you? Right. I am launching the first quiz. All of you, hold your horses. Let us launch the first quiz. Please be very careful in answering. There is no coming back from this, and you have a lot of gifts and prizes that you win. So please look at the quiz now. Let us use the first quiz launching now. Don't type the answer. Go and answer on the quiz. Don't type. It's there on your screen. Type on. It's there on your screen. and it's fastest finger first. Right. So Srinivas is first. Should we do one more quiz? Yeah. We have total 7. Last one would be done at the end. So choose wisely. Yes. Launching the next quiz now. Right. Let's see if the leaderboard changes. It did. Ashwin has come to the top now. Awesome. Awesome. Congrats, Ashwin, Pranav, Pushpendra. It comes on the screen, Ayushi. On the screen, you will get the quiz. Right. I think you have prizes till 7th. So just be in the race. Yeah, everyone. Right. Now let's go ahead and start building our product from scratch. Yeah. So what do? We build the header first. We will build this header. Should we build the header first or the carousel first? What do we want to build? Header? Header works, everyone? Yeah. Awesome. Let's build the header then. We'll just build the first or second components. Rest we can just copy paste it because it would be of no use. Carousel. I'll explain that. What is carousel, Gaurav? Yeah. I'm going to share my screen now. There would be some movement on my screen here and there because I'm going to share my entire screen and I'll not be able to check your chats for some time. So please bear with me. I'll increase the font size. Is this font size good enough? Yes? Works? Awesome. So now we would want to build our header component. How do we build our header component? What happens? We'll see now. So in the home page, yeah, in the home page, we have a index.js. Increase still? Okay. This much is enough? Yeah. Awesome. So all of you are, let me just get back to the um repository which we would be utilizing for our I'll switch off my camera so anyone having any network issue would not have that. Yeah. So the basic part that we want to build is the just a second, sorry. We do yarn start. We have all of you are able to get to this hello application, hello app. Yes. Yes, I will give you the full application code, Kritum. Yeah. Now we have hello app. Now we want to build the header, right? Where would the header be? Can anyone tell me? It would be inside which folder? It would come under home. Yeah. It would be coming under the home page, and we would have the header rendered over there, right? Everyone is aligned on that. Awesome. Now let us try to, and all the components of header would be inside the components under a header folder. So if you don't have this header folder, create a components folder. In the components, have a header folder, and we'll create these files, right? Let us create these files now. So first we build the icon. First we build the first logo that is there, right? So the logo, our logo would be nothing but something of this sort. So in React, when you want to import an image and add an image, you would write, you would import that from the images folder. See, you have an images folder, we have Amazon logo over here, so you import it like this, from images Amazon logo, and you import that logo. And now we are going to create that logo. Let us do that. So what we do over here is we remove this null and add an image. Your image would be brand logo. Image would be brand logo. Class name would be logo image. Just add the right class names, because if you don't, then the CSS won't come into play. All the CSS that you have in your repository would not come into play. Yeah. Now we have added this image. Let us try to see how do we get this image. Yeah. We will add a link to it as well. We will add a link to it. We will add how to go to the home page as well, but we'll do that later. For now, let's just take the image and try to display that image. Was everyone able to achieve till here? How hello app come not getting anything? Was everyone able to type till here, understand how image is coming? The image would be imported from the images folder, and your return statement would have this image. Unable to add image, how to clone? Add image in repo. Image is already there in the repo, na, that you would have cloned. Index. All right, so what has happened is most of you have not cloned the right repository. You have not cloned the right branch. Just pull the, yeah, you are all in the master branch. Don't be in the master branch. Go to the master class branch. Go to the master class branch. Over here, go to the master class branch. This branch. So you have to just do git checkout master class. Checkout master class. Just do this. Right? Do this. Take a minute and do this. Please show the code. Yes, I will show you the code for sure. Everyone take 2 minutes and do this. That's all. Nothing to be done. Initially, it will take 5-10 minutes. Please bear with me to set up everything. But once we are set up, then it becomes much more easier and faster. Yeah. It's logo underscore or logo. It's underscore underscore Ashish. I am using VS Code. Now let us do one thing. Let us do one thing. We want this header to come to our page. We want to see whether the header is coming or not. We go to the components. In the header we have a index.js. All logo, delivery location, everything would be added here. Don't worry. Now go to app.js. Go to app.js. Instead of returning hello app, just go and return header. Header over here.
अपना बैग उठा.
And you all do this. See, this is the output that we got. We got this Amazon logo over here. See, we got this Amazon logo over here. Can you all see? Create upload image into it. Okay, Kuldeep says it's not letting us upload an image into it. Okay. Create directory images, create file. It is okay. Matlab, if you are not able to add an image, just add an image tag. It will give you an alt. If you don't have an image, na, see, it will give you an alt. No, nothing to worry. See over here, I'll just remove this brand logo from here. It will just look little bad, but it will do the job. See, I will remove the source. It will give you a like this. Yeah, it is okay. Give it time. Give it time. Just look at the screen. It is okay if you are not able to code through. Just look at the screen. You will understand the concepts with that also. Don't worry. If you are not able to clone it, you are getting errors. We will run out of time resolving those errors itself. So just look at the screen and look at what we are doing. Yeah. All right. So now we have this. Now let us get to the next concept, which is the concept of React router. What is React router? We'll understand that concept, right? It is interesting. You will all like it. This is how the single page application works. This is how the single page application works. So please be very careful and understand and what we are going to do. So in React router is nothing but it is a router. You would all have a router at your home, right? What it does, it routes the different signals, the internet, the different websites that you are trying to hit, and lets you see those. Here, it will route you to the different pages that you want to get to, right? So over here, the different pages that you want to get to. So you add a router. It is by default, we have added React Router DOM. It is a package that is available in React as a support. You add it in package.json, download it. Now that you have downloaded it, you want to utilize those, right? So you add this router, and if you want to switch between different pages, you add a switch. This switch would help you switch between different pages. All of these are imported from the React router DOM. So I told you that anything that you want to import from the library, you do this. And now you want to route to different parts, right? So switch. So you will add this. This is the syntax. So nothing fancy happening over here. This is just the syntax. Just follow what I'm saying. Don't be worried if you're not understanding. I'll keep explaining it, right?
दोपहर कुछ चल रहा है.
So what I'm saying over here is React router switch between different routes. We will have multiple routes. Let us have two
सुन भी
for
रहा
now,
हूँ.
right? We're telling React router switch between different routes, and it is telling with this exact keyword that it has to be exactly this. The name of the path has to be exactly slash cart slash or slash product to match, and then you give different components in it. You will give different components in it that you want to render. So your header is one component that you want to render, but it is not part of React router, so you will just simply go and write it over here. Okay,
भाई भाई
you simply go
इसमें
and write it over here. You are adding a parent to all of these, which is your page container. It will come above the switch, and you will do this. I have done one mistake, that I have closed it very weirdly. I don't know why I did this. Your closing tag is like this, right? And your closing tag for switch is like this. Whatever component you want for this, right? You can all see this. Whatever component you want to be rendered in this route would be the index component, and you add this component over here. So this is what React router is. You switch between different routes using this React router. The route is added over here. These are the different routes that you want to go to. Now we will keep building onto this. The header is not in the route. We'll keep building onto this. What we'll do is, now we'll quickly take 2 minutes. Uh, Rajat says B, which is not the right answer. Quickly. There are only 277 users who have participated. Multiple others are left. Don't type the answer. Just give it on the screen. Just click on the option. Right? We have Ashwin, who has come to the top of the leaderboard. Now what does the leaderboard look like? Ashwin is on the top. Vinayak is second, and Radhika is third. Congratulations, everyone. We'll quickly move to the things that we were doing, the code, and we'll try to build what we were building. Yeah, we were building the header. Let's be very fast now so that we do not lose out onto more time. Right. So you have this. We were discussing what was router and how does it work. So router is nothing but it is used to route through different pages. Router is used to route through different pages. Switch tells that these are the different routes that you can switch between. Route defines the exact path where you want to route to, and this cart page is the component that you want to render. We already saw how the components are rendered. You render this component using this cart page. Now we have routed onto our header. We have already added the header, so let me just go there. See, we have our header already in place. Let us build onto the other components that are required for the header. Yeah, were you all able to follow till this point? We will quickly add another part to the header, which is maybe the search. We will add the search to the header. So in search, what are the different things that we need to add? Let's see. Search, we have multiple categories. You would have seen on Amazon there are all categories. These are the different categories that are there. So what we have done is we have just added an array of categories. It doesn't happen like this. In general, you have an API call to fetch these categories, but we have just hard coded these categories for now. You all know what this use state does. It is just going to set 0 as the category first. Set category helps us set the category, right? So let's build on to that and build the search that we are trying to build. We have a div class name, and we have our search. We have our search. This is what our parent div is. Always enclose your div in a parent. This will go inside the return statement. Always have your children in a parent. That helps you, you know, enclose things. It helps you write the SCSS better. Now you have a select that would be there to select all of these components. Now in the select, what you want to do is you want to render through all these categories that are there. So if you want to render through all of these categories, you would do something of this sort: categories dot map. It is a map is an internal function that is provided by JavaScript. So what map does is it will map through all the properties that are there in that array one by one, and it will return you the component that you are trying to build with this looped category. So one by one it will loop through all of these and it will return you that. Yeah. Now you are trying to build these categories. So there are multiple options that would be there. So you would have option, you would have this option, and in the option you want the values to be set to the value of whatever the categories are there. So you set it to I, and you want those options to be, sorry, you want the options to be rendered and shown the name that is over here. So that would be something of this sort. You give it the name that is getting passed. So the categories dot map, the first parameter would have the category name. So all categories, all of these shoe handbags would go into O. So you are trying to print it over here. That's all that you are trying to do, right? Now what is it saying? Unexpected token, did you mean this? No, I meant exactly this. What did I do wrong? Okay, there is an extra closing bracket that I gave over here. Yeah, on. So this is what our drop down looks like. Yes, you see, all of you can see there is this drop down. Now all the options are there. Is everyone able to see this? Did you all understand what we did? This is nothing. We just have a map does nothing but loops over the whole array. Now what we want to do is we want to on every change of this option, whenever we select, we want the category to be set. Why we are doing this is so that we learn the concept of use state. You understand the concept of use state, right? If you don't understand it, ask again. We'll build only these two components for now and move ahead to the other parts on the page, and header we will complete later, right? So the value would be category, the category value that, see, you have this use state, you have set it to 0, you have set the value to 0, and on change you want it to changed based on the value that has been picked. Now, how do you do that? You set the category on every time this select value is changed. You want this value to be changed. You have this e dot target dot value. What you are doing exactly over here is parse int is doing nothing but it is making it an integer, and you are taking e dot target dot value does nothing but picks the value that has been set in target. So whatever value is set in target, it will pick that value and set that to the state that is there. So the category is the value of the state. You are again and again using set category to set it every time the search changes. Let us console.log and see that as well. Category, let's see what is the value every time that we change it. You can also see this. Yeah, see, category is 0, you change it, it changes to 2. What does exactly map do? Why 10? Yeah, what, why are you using key attribute? Explain again, use state please. Okay. Okay, so there are multiple questions that we have. I'll explain. What does map do? Map does nothing. It is just like a loop. It is like a loop for each, for loop, all of that. It's just a loop. It loops through these categories one by one. It is doing nothing but looping through these categories, giving the value of the first category that is available over there in this O 0, 1, 2, 3. These are going to be the indexes. It is looping through. And what we are doing here is option. We are creating a React element. So this syntax is called as JSX syntax. JSX, JavaScript. Note. So what we are doing is we are writing HTML inside JavaScript over here. So this is what JSX is. So we are writing HTML inside JavaScript. So we are creating HTML elements. We are having this option. We are looping through these categories. Whatever the value of O is coming. See, you can see over here. It is it 0 or alphabet O? It is alphabet O. Please reduce file explorer width. I will do that. Yeah. So it is O. It is nothing but O, right? Now let us go to this. I'll close this view leaderboard for some time. See, these are rendered over here. So these are the options that are there in select. All the options were rendered with the names that were there. That's all map is doing. Now you have use state. Use state has set value 0 to category by default. When you load, it loads all categories. You make it 2. See, Alexa skills. It loads the second. So by default, you have this property set over here, which would go and set into the category. That's all you are doing over here. Now, once you do this, you want the value of this category to be changed every time the value of this select is changed. How do you do that? You have an on change method in React, which would be used over here, which would set the category every time the value of every time the value of category is getting changed. E.target.value is an internal JavaScript property which gives you the value of whatever is getting selected over here. So the value is 2. It is getting selected over here, and you are just having it set it over here. That's all. Why 10 in percent is your homework, Ankit. Why is 10 passed in percent? Just explore it. It's just normal. It's nothing like uh, it's just syntax. Is this there a reason you are just using vowels for variables? No. It's just quick. So you can use anything over here. Value, you can use val, and it will also work. You can just use val also over here. There is no specific reason. Yeah, you can utilize that. Once you give a read to what percent is, Ankit and Bharti, you will understand why we have used 10. Just go back and do that. This is something which I'll leave for intentionally for all of you, so that you go and look at what percent is. I will give the link to the complete code, Sudhir. Don't worry. Now you have this select that you are trying to build. Yeah. Now you want to have a input of search as well, right? There is an input in Amazon that you use. So you will have an input as well, which has class name, search, input type equal to text. Now that you have your input, it will have your value of input. Now comes in the interesting part. You want a button to search, right? You want this button that will help you search. So you create this button. Yeah. In this button, you would want an icon that is the search button, right? So how do you do that is what I'll explain again. Explain now. So this MDI React is nothing but a library that React provides. In that inbuilt there is a icon method that is provided, which in which you can just pass the name of the icon that you want to use, and it will render that beautiful icon for you. So you can just go and write icon, you give the path. So the path is something that we have already brought out, which is MDI magnify, and you have this path all that you want to give, and you give the size of the icon that you wanted to have, 1.4 extra closing. Now see, a beautiful, this icon is available. Which extension is used to run in VS Code? Senthil says, why only number 10 in parse it? Conversion to integers. Right. Did you all understand how this icon came? Yes. So yeah, this is a library that we have imported, MDI React and MDI JS. MDI React gives you an icon. What we have done in this icon is we have taken this icon, we have added this icon. This is just a React component. You give the path of the icon that you want, which is MDI magnify. You give MDI magnify over here, and it starts showing this icon. That's all. So anytime you are building an application, use this and it will help you. Clear, everyone? Yes? Everyone is able to follow what MDI was? Yeah? Let's move forward. So rest of the things, what we'll do is we'll cover the rest of the things in the header later. Let us build the banner first in the interest of time. Yes? Abhijit, I've told that please read how parseInt and how that 10 works, so that you have something to read after the class. It's nothing, it's just syntax, so don't worry. Right? Now let us move to the next part. Let us try to build the page, that is the home page for us. In the home page we have a banner. We are trying to build this banner now. So Venkat has answered for us that it is base of 10. It is converting to base of 10. Please show the icon code. Yes, I will show the icon code. I will do one thing. I'll copy paste that and send it to everyone. We'll utilize this icon code again. So for everyone's reference, let me do that. Oh, I cannot send that big of a message. Let me just show it. So you have this icon from MDI React, MDI Magnify from MDI JS. Yeah. And you just write icon like this. This is a component that you are trying to build, and you give this MDI Magnify size which you want the icon to be of. That's all. All right. Akash, does that work? Yeah. All right. Let's move to the banner that we have. We had a fancy banner that we had with images that were moving left to right. Let's try to build that now, right? So for our banner, we would have this home page. This home page, we have already linked it to our initial page using the router. In that we will have a banner. So in this we want to have a banner. So in the banner we would run, we will have a carousel of three images. We'll loop three through these three images. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll create the code for banner, and we'll see how do you create a carousel as well. So we have used Nuka carousel for our use case. It is a third party carousel that we are using. So all of you can just simply utilize this when you are building your application. Now we all know what we are doing here. We are having a initial parent for our banner, which is h banner, parent for our carousel, which is h banner carousel, right? Now we want the carousel component to come here, right? So the carousel we have already taken from Nuka carousel, so we'll just simply put it over here. And we want the carousel component to have a feature of autoplay. So these, there are multiple features that are provided by the carousel. We will utilize those. So one of it is that autoplay. Now let me explain what we are doing over here. So we are passing multiple parameters to this carousel. What is happening over here, right? So no one asked in the previous time we used this also. I'll explain what happens. See, what is a carousel? Good question. And carousel is like a slider. Yes. So Dhaneshwar says carousel is like a slider. I will show what a carousel is, everyone. Example. See, there is this first slide, there is this second slide, third slide, fourth slide. You must have seen this somewhere, Javis, right? You, all of us would have seen a carousel in some website, but we don't know the name of it. Hotstar, yes, all the important things. Generally, the first banner is carousel. Or see, you have multiple images. You want to showcase multiple products, like we have Scalar Academy, Scalar Edge, Scalar Plus. How do you pick which one to show? How do you pick the one that is required, right? There is a difficulty in that. You can only have one banner, you can only have one hero image. So in that case you would have a carousel which has an autoplay feature. First slide, second slide, third slide, fourth slide, autoplay. It is autoplaying the images. You can have multiple hero images using a carousel. Does that make sense what a carousel is, everyone? Why do we use carousel? Carousel is a style in which you can have multiple hero images showcasing multiple features that you have in your product. So there are multiple carousels that are available in market. Slick carousel, Nuka carousel, glider carousel. We are using Nuka carousel over here. Nuka carousel provides you with a React component which you can utilize to create a carousel. Now, what is this autoplay reverse that you have added in this component? Similarly, in the last one also we had added some size and all of those in our component. Can anyone tell me what are these things that we are passing over here? Autoplay reverse, multiple more properties will pass probably. What are these? These are the props for the carousel, right? Multiple of you have answered. These are the props for the carousel. So what are exactly props? What does props do? Why do we use props? Props are nothing but props are used to pass property to a component. What is a component in React? You can think of it as a function. It is like a parameter that you pass to a function to change the properties of a component, to change how the component looks like. You use props, you pass props from parents to the children to tell that I want this component to behave this way. To change the behavior of a component, you use props. Does it make sense? Yes, Deepti. So Deepti is asking what is auto reverse. Auto reverse is when it reaches the last image, it starts from the first one. React is single dimensional. How do you manage what a component does? Is through props. Prop is properties. You want the component to behave in a way, you use props. Make sense, everyone? Right, awesome. All of you are rock stars, man. All of you are rock stars. It's like very easy to tell concepts. Now, now you have another two props that are there in your that come out of the box with Nuka carousel. I'll explain what they are doing also, no problem. But it is not something which we have built, so don't worry. So in your carousel, see, in your carousel, it's like CSS somewhat for me. I did not get it. Mega, what you are saying? It's like CSS. See, what you want to do on the next and previous click, you want to change things. So what happens on this next and previous click? What is the icon that comes on next and previous click is what we are trying to achieve over here with this, right? Render center left controls and render center right controls. So we want two controls, right? So you want two controls over here. Now, how do you achieve this? You achieve this using what happens exactly over here. I will explain. Give me 2 minutes. You want an icon to come. Now you all know what our icon is. We defined in the last uh, part. What this class name, size, and everything is. We know that these are props. So we want h banner control, and we want it to be of size 5. Your path of this icon is MDI chevron left. On the left, we want MDI, and on click, we want it to have this previous slide. So this is by default provided us by the carousel itself, the previous slide method. If you want to override it, if you want it to do something else, you can pass this previous slide, but over here it is by default provided. We are not doing anything fancy, we are just doing next and previous, so we just utilize this. Let us copy paste it for right as well, right? Right, next slide, next slide, chevron right. Yep. Now you would see the magic. What happens? See. Oh, we have not yet added this banner. Give me 1 second. Let's complete the code for it. We'll see the magic in the end. What is Nuka Carousel, Deepti asks? Nuka Carousel is nothing but a third-party library that we are using, Deepti. No, Madhu, you cannot pass from child to parent. Only one way, from parent to child. You can pass anything, function, data, object, anything. Yes. Mega, I did not get what you were saying. It's like CSS somewhat. This props. Now we will go ahead and try to render our images, and all of you know how to do that. Does anyone want to tell how would we do that, rendering the images? Anyone wants to try how do we render our images? Anyone? Using map, right? React is easy than backend. It is easier than backend. Yes. So a lot of people say that we will use rent map. Simple, simple. Everything in React is simple. You don't need to worry. Now after this masterclass, you would go and start creating applications. No, now you all know what you need to do. You will have this map. In this map, you will have banner src. You have this index. So someone had asked, why did I use ori? That is just names that you are using. Na? Don't worry about them. You can use any name, right? Now, how do we do this? Yeah. Now we are trying to render our banner images. What our how do we render our banner images? It will obviously be an image. It will have an src. How do we define an src? We already saw. Src would come from the banner src. See, we have these images, we have the srcs defined in these banners. We loop through these banners and print these images. That's all. We have a key. Now the interesting parts come. Why do we have this key? What does this key do? Yeah. Why do we have this key? Can anyone tell me why do we have this key? Let me just finish typing this. How to play video in it? Yes, good question. Virender is typing again and again for unique identification of the DOM element. Yes. So what happens is we heard that React has, we all would have heard somewhere that React has this virtual DOM. It is a very fancy term that we have heard. React has a virtual DOM. Oh, what is virtual DOM? So every time we read it that every time the state is changed, the React component would be re-rendered. And in JavaScript, every time there is a DOM manipulation, the whole page gets re-rendered. What React does is it will add a key to each element. It creates a tree like structure. It adds a key to each. It says that this is the index of this image. So whenever you are trying to change something, whenever something in that key changes, only that part would be re-rendered. That is why we have this key. It is to uniquely identify which is the component, which is the part of the screen that is changing. So I re-render only that. That's just smart rendering of something. That's all. Does that make sense, everyone? Yes, no? A quick yes or no. Did my explanation make sense, or was it like, okay, what did he say? Next slide is not defined. We'll try to solve it. What if we don't add the key explicitly? If we don't add the key explicitly, Madhu, it will send a warning that you are not utilizing React properly. You are not using my powers in the right way. Raja says, can you explain virtual DOM again? Yes, virtual DOM is nothing but it is a way for React to know which is the part of the page that it has to re-render based on the change of a state. That is all. Banner is array. So how it pass banner src in function? Banner is an array and we can loop through it using map. So we are just looping through these srcs using map, putting the src in image, key as index and alt. That's all we are doing. Make sense? Raja, that is a discussion, long discussion. We can do that for another hour. There are uh, tools in React which you can install, plugins in React which will show you exactly how the virtual DOM is getting manipulated. If you want to learn more about virtual DOM, na, remove the key from the component and maybe check whether on change of a state the whole component gets re-rendered. It will show whether the components get re-rendered or not. There is a question that gets asked in interview that can you create a virtual DOM as well? So how do you create a virtual DOM? You create a tree like structure. Virtual DOM is one, Richa. Every time HTML is formed, there is a DOM that is formed. Yeah, DOM is document object model, and DOM is a tree like structure which HTML in itself uses. But React on top of it builds its own object, intelligent object, knowing which part of the component has to be changed. Index element as banner src. How Shubham is saying seems like a fake DOM. Better word is virtual DOM. Imbersion, right? Imberajan, sorry. I just want to know how we know we uh, I just want to know we get index element as banner src. You are just looping, nah? So you will get the first element, second element, third element, all the elements you are getting. Get my point? You are getting all the elements one by one. I'll show. Give me 1 second. Daniel asks, how does React DOM relate to original side DOM? It has a diffing algorithm, Daniel. It diffs with the DOM that it has, whether it changed to what it was or what it had before and what it has now. The diffing algorithm, then there is a complete DOM that gets created. That is a virtual DOM. That is an object. That object takes and then renders things on the web page. So it is just like create React element, create element in JavaScript. That's all. Now let us move forward because this concept will keep on going. We will not build the whole website and then you will say that I did not complete the whole thing. Yeah. Now let us see what happens. Now banner is already part of this, but it is not rendered. Yeah. We will have a parent div. Now all of you know that why do we need a parent? Now we have a parent div. We have a banner. We will render this banner and we want this banner to come. So let us see if our banner came or not. It didn't. We'll see why it did not come. There's multiple questions. Now why did our banner not come? Let us see. The home page was there. Yeah. But did it get added in the app.js? Homepage is there. Okay. We did not add homepage over here. We just add this homepage over here. Are you all enjoying till now? My question is, are you all enjoying till now? Quick yes or no. No, Aman says no straight away. That's very harsh, man. Why, man, Aman? You're not liking it? Where what is the part that I can improve? Maybe just tell me. I'll try to improve on it. Aman and Anil. Bit cut off. All right. We'll revisit it. We'll revisit whatever is left. Awesome. So quick. See, now we have our banner. See, all of our banner is there. It has been rendered, but it is not looping through it. I don't know what happened. I think it is because of our not closing of carousel. Let me just go to this part. Banner.js. We did not close our carousel. Sorry for that. What does it say? Last carousel expected corresponding JSON is what? The div. Closed it now. Done some small mistakes somewhere. Don't exactly know what. Can anyone help me? What we are doing wrong in line 39? What is wrong? Okay, we have closed it unnecessarily. Awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. See, our carousel is rendered. Isn't it looking beautiful? A honest hard work that we did. See, this is what carousel is. That's all we were trying to achieve. The three images, the three SRCs, the carousels, everything is working fine. Let us see our code, how it looks. Yeah. See, can you see this? Internally, the slider, it has created like this one image slider frame. See, there is a UL, there is an LI. All the images are in this. See, it's fancy, right? I think, yeah, Anupam. Autoplay reverse is not working as expected, correct? Um, Shivam, for now, do one thing, don't try to fix it because you will lose out on a lot of time. Just look at what we are doing for now. Later, probably you'll be able to figure out. So with the map, we always need to add key or while using the image. With map, you always need to add key, Madhu. Now, see, all of this carousel that you added, this whole thing gets changed to all this code that comes out of the box. Fancy and interesting, right? So this is the power of the Java React libraries that you have. You just have to do this much and just pass some props to it, and rest of the things would be done by it internally. This is what props are. Make sense? Getting next word instead of arrow. Ashish is saying next word. You might have done some small mistake here and there. Did you use the icon, Ashish? Okay. We'll you can take the code. You will see small mistake here and there happening, right? Next slide is not defined. Next slide is not defined. It is a by default that is provided by render center left control. Once you see what is happening in Nuka carousel, na, see it in their documentation, you would be able to see what they are doing. They also would be having similar things. See this, that's all. Don't need to worry. See, after slide, all of this is provided in their documentation. Don't need to read it. nothing that you will learn out of it. Just utilize these small things. So Ankit asks, how can we play video in it? Right, Ankit? Good question. Now, if you want video, na, you can just have a video src over here, have a if condition, that if it is a video url, then you render a video tag. There is a video tag that is provided by your html, and that would that do the job for you. So I'll show you video in HTML. It's nothing but HTML video. This is how HTML video is. You have a video, you add the source, and in the video you can just, in the carousel you can just pass the video, and video would be played. That's all. Nothing fancy you need to do. Simple. It is as simple as that. Okay. Let me just, then let's move on to the next part. Let's build the products, because the product part is the most important. The products part is the most important. Let us go to that. We will build the product cards and render all the product cards. Now, who will tell me how do you render all the product cards if you have all the products with you? Map, right? Awesome. All of you know how to do that. Yes, map. So we will have a products.js, and we will have a product card, and we will render that product card again and again in that products.js. Does that make sense, everyone? We will have a products.js, we'll have a product card, and we'll render that product card again and again in that product.js. So let us build the product.js first. Let us build that product.js first. Megha is saying that she knows the backend API, but how to connect with the front end is what she doesn't know. We'll learn that now. So we'll learn that part, how to connect the API with the front end in this product.js. This is the most important part. So all of you be very carefully listen to it. Do you want me to? Do you all want to do another quiz? Yes, no. Yes. Let's do another quiz first. I have explained this 10 times. Now everyone should answer this correctly. Amtul, it is not attributes. It is props. We discussed, na, props are properties which are used to change the how the component looks like. Yes, right. Awesome. Now you know, right, Amtul? Awesome. Now let us move to the next concept. One thing I forgot to tell you all, that React hooks, the hooks that you use, in the React hooks, the most important thing that you want to know is that React hooks can be used only in functional components, and hooks will not you should not be used to render UI components. React hooks should never be used to render UI components. Okay, so remember that. Now let's move to the products. Products is most important. Let's try to build this products. Okay, what I'll do is I will try to do as much coding as possible. In the last 10-15 minutes we will just go through the code, so I'll explain things to you. Yeah, in products, now you want to load the products. You want to do an API call to get the products that are there, all the list of products that are there. So how do we do that? How do we get the list of products? First thing first, you will have a state products. This part all of us know. Use state is a hook with which by default will pass something. Here you in use state you have passed by default. Now you want to get all the products that are there. You want to load all the products that are there, right? So to load all the products, you will do a API call. And how do we do an API call in JS is we learn now. I'll explain what is happening. Let me just finish typing, then you will understand what is happening. Okay. It says that there is an error. It which says that this is an
थोड़ी देर और
we need a method to be called over here. Right? Me one moment. Let me just type it. Then I will explain what is exactly happening. Right. Right. Now let us see what we are trying to do over here. Is line 11 clear? Line 11 is something which I have done already. So line 11 is nothing but we are creating a state. We are creating a state and products is a state. Set products is a method to set products. Now in JavaScript, when you want to do a Ajax call is nothing but it is a asynchronous call to fetch data from a server. You use async await. You use promises. You use promises to do Ajax call. Async await is one way to do promises. Promise is nothing but saying that because JavaScript is single threaded, right? JavaScript runs one line after the other. If you do an API call, right? Say suppose you are doing an API call and that API call takes 5 minutes to return the data. What would happen? The JavaScript, because it is single threaded, would stop there and you will not see anything on the browser. It will be stuck. You would not be able to click also on the screen. There would be a white screen that would be visible. Does that make sense? JavaScript is single threaded, runs line by line. Now you want to get some data from the server. You do an API call to get that data. That call will go to the server, get that data. You download that data, manipulate that data on your end. Till that time, JavaScript, because it is not doing anything, it is stuck. So to avoid that, JavaScript came up with the process called as Ajax call. Came up with a concept called as promises, which says that you keep doing things that you are doing. I will do things in parallelly. I will do things parallelly. I will do an API call, get the result. Whenever I get the result, I promise you that I will get that result. Promise means I will pakka promise I will get that result. And once the result is there, then you can manipulate that result. You can dynamically do things with that result. So that is what JavaScript Ajax calls are. That is what promises are. So one way to do is it that async await is there. So every time you write this await na, it just says that whatever is happening, whatever you write after this await statement goes into a promise. So it says that whenever your API call is done, whenever this statement is executed, whatever data comes into this, you utilize this. So await, please wait after this. And whenever you want to use await, you have to say that this method is async. Yes, we achieve Ajax call by using async await, Madhu. Does it make sense? Await is just telling that after this line, whatever is going to happen, wait for the result of this products API dot get list. Wait for the result of this, only then set products. In simple English, that's all we are doing. Nothing fancy. Now we are just doing, we are saying that wait for the result of this. If there is a await keyword, every method that has await inside it has to be declared as async. So it is just basically telling that this method is going to be async. Now what is product API dot get list? Let's see that. We have created a product API dot get list. So what we are doing over here is we are writing get product list, and we are using a API request from the utils. We have created this whole method to do an API call. This is a template method. You can just copy paste it. Nothing to be understanding over here. This is a template method. API request is the method that you are doing. In that API request, you are doing an Ajax call to the server saying, get me this data. Once you get me this data, so that's all you are doing. You are saying that you're passing these parameters to this API request. You are utilizing this API request. This API request expects a method, path, and body. In over here, you are saying that method, it is get. Your get, post, put, delete. These are multiple methods that are there. So you are sending a get method to this and saying that this is the URL that you have to hit, localhost 3000 / products. In case of production, it would be like scalar.com / products. So you are saying that get product list and call this. Whenever it calls, it will return you an API call. It will return you a result, and the result will come to you in this JSON. So I will show you what is happening. It is waiting only those lines after that, Gaurav. We are written that it is a async method. You do whatever you are doing other than that. This async method, whenever this await happens, whatever is written after that await, only that part is awaited, Gaurav. We can also use Axios library for API calls. Correct. Virendra says, yes, Axios is one way to do it. Async await is another way to do it. There are multiple ways to achieve this. That's all. Yeah. Now, this is the way to do your API call. Let us save it. Let us call it in our index.js, our products. Let us see if this call happens or not. That's all the target for us is right now, to get the API call and help you understand what and how this API call works. Awesome. Yes, yes, Gaurav. Difference between use state 0 and use state empty. Use state array. So use state first parameter is by default what is the value? 0 is an integer value, empty array is an array value. Now can anyone tell me what would come here? It will have this. load products that would be passed to it. What is the problem? Right. Now we have to see if the products are getting returned or not. Right. We did too many requests. We did something wrong, but you got this API call, right? We did this API call. Can you see this? Is it visible? Everyone? We did the API call. So we were able to achieve the API call. Infinite loop, we'll come to it, Ankit. Why did we get into the infinite loop? I'll explain that as well. But were you able to understand what we are trying to achieve and what we did over here? No? Okay, line 25. See, I told you, right? Use effect. You pass things in the depths array, the dependency array. So every time this load products get changed, you want this dependency array. May you want to pass this? You are saying that load products should be called every time there is this load products change. That's all you are trying to say. Let us see if it works better without it. Right? It works without better without it. Why it is not going in the infinite loop? I'll explain. It is not going in infinite loop because now we have told that load products, load it. How, what will happen over here? Can anyone tell me what would happen? Why is it getting loaded only once? Anyone? Empty array, no dependency. Empty array means it is getting called only once, right? We are calling it only once. So that is what is happening over here. We are calling it only once. So that is why it is happening. But in JavaScript, now you'd want this load products. What if this load product gets changed? What if this load product gets changed? So in that case, you want this dependency array to be having this load products. This method can get changed. If this method gets changed, then you want it to be called again. So that is why you passed it in the depths array. We'll leave it for now. I'll explain it later what exactly happens. But this much is clear to us that we have our data that is fetched. We have the data fetched, right? Now we have our data and we want to print that data. We want that data to be shown to the user. We would have to create a product card which has all the product information. Yes. Whole async function keeps waiting in case of await. Next line after function keeps running, but not next line after the await. Yes, exactly, Gaurav. Correct. Now, should we do one thing in the interest of time? Should I explain the concepts by running through the code rather than doing hands-on coding, because otherwise we'll not be able to cover it. Yeah, awesome, awesome. Let's do that. Do you all want to take a minute's break? Have water or something? Everyone? I'll also have water in that meantime. Let's do one thing. Right. So Shreya says join our coding community where notes and learning for this masterclass would be shared. This community has huge number of people. You can join this and you will learn a lot of things over here. This is my LinkedIn. Let us do one thing. and connect on LinkedIn as well. Would love to connect with all of you on LinkedIn. I've shared my LinkedIn. Let's get connected on LinkedIn as well. So if you have any questions, you can maybe ask on LinkedIn. Yeah. Let me switch to the master branch so that you can all. Let me switch to master branch and we'll see the whole code. Right. I am going to share my screen. One second. Let us connect on LinkedIn, and if you have any doubts, any questions, we can cover them there. Do you want me to launch another quiz? Okay, I will do that. Awesome. I have launched another quiz. Carefully read the question. Carefully read the question. You can reference the master branch itself, Ashish. Right. So, what is not true about React hooks is that it cannot be used to render UI elements. I told you. Ashwin is leading, Vinayak is on second, and Palak is third. Awesome. We have only two more questions left, so be very careful. Ashwin, Vinayak, Palak, Jayaprakash, Mukul, Armor, and Mahesh. You are the ones who are in the lead. But I think Tanisha, Ahmad, both of you can also, Devash, all of you can also come to the top. So be very careful in the next quiz. Now let's do one thing. Let's cover what is happening, right? I'll quickly give you a walkthrough of the products, what we are doing. There are multiple things that are happening. So we have created a component in the components, which is your error component. It says whenever there is an error, show the message that is there in the error, and they give a button, try again, or whatever you want to give to that button, and have a function which you can use to reload reload to get the data. So sometimes you will see na, click reload to get the data. That's what we are doing in this error component. This error component expects three parameters, three props. One is message, action label, and action function. Your action message is over here. You are saying in the on click of the action label, render the component again and again. That's all. So this is an error component that you use. There is a loading component that you use, which is the loader that you would see. I'll show you. Let me just render the yarn start. Master branch is different. This is the master branch. You can use master, Ashish. Now see, there is a loader that comes. See, in the beginning, see that loader. To fetch these products, you use this loader. So loader is nothing but you have a loader icon. You are loading that icon. You are saying that this is the width and the height of this icon. You want to once this loader is loaded, you want to showcase it. So you are, let me explain one more hook, that is use callback. Use callback is nothing but it is it is a hook that is used in React to make the React make the this whole rendering cycle efficient. So if the method that is there, use callback would do nothing but the method that is there over here inside, if it is not getting changed again and again, the load product method that is not getting changed and again, use callback will cache it. It will cache it and say that if this method gets changed, then you re-render this method. If it doesn't get changed, don't re-render, don't change the copy of this, just keep the copy of this method as same whatever was there. And you have a dependency array in this as well, saying that whenever the value of loading is changed, just call this method, otherwise don't call this method. So use callback would be cached in other cases. If this value of loading changes, this method would be called again, that's all. So it is depending on the value of loading. So the method can have a copy of it, right? It has this loading. The method in general is not changed. It is generally not changed. So you cache that method. You are saying that don't call this again and again. Only when this loading gets changed, then call it. That's all you are saying. So you're just caching it. Okay. Now you are saying that if this is loading and the product is not is null, then return. If there we do not have anything set right now, just return. Otherwise set loading to true and you set error to null. So you are having two more states now, set error, you have having two more states, error and loading. So you are setting loading to true in the beginning. You set the loading to true so that the loader starts loading in the beginning. uh, yes. So Pushparagya says that the use callback returns a memoized callback function. It's very hard to explain what memoization is and everything. For now, you can think of it in this way, that it is caching. It is just storing that method in the memory. If that method gets changed, then only this whole part would be called again, and it is dependent on this loading. So you are saying that if loading is changed, then you change the instance in the memory. Okay, I'll come to it in the end. For now, just bear with me, because this is a concept which will take some time in explaining. Then we will be able not be able to finish everything. Now what you are doing is you are saying set loading to true. The loader, as soon as this function loads, make sure that the loader is loading. You are setting the set loading to true and set error to null, right? And over here in the return, what you have written is that loader that I showed na component, that loader component, it is saying that load return loader if loading is true. If loading is true, return the loader component. If error is true, fail to load products and return this. Only if these both conditions fail, then go to this. Only then you return this products array. That's what it is saying. Does it make sense? Actually, I was showing the wrong file, but it does the same thing. Harini, definitely, I'll do that. Did it make sense? The loader, you are rendering the loader component if the loading is true, and you are setting loading to true in the beginning. You are setting error to null, so the loader would be shown. Now you do the API call. We understood what the API call was, how it was happening. We know that as soon as the API call is done, you set loading to false so that it goes into this condition. It goes into this condition because loading is false. Now error is also false, and you are mapping through each of the products. You are taking a product array and you are showing it to the user. I'll show you what the product array is. Give me 1 second. uh, We console.log it. No, let me console.log it for all of you. What the product array is. So it makes sense to all of you. See, these are the different products. Each product has these properties in it. Each product has these properties. You are pass looping through these whole array over here, products.map product, and there is a product card component. I'll come to it. You are passing the key. You know why we pass the key, and you are passing the whole product. So you are passing this whole object to this product card to show it. So this is the product card component. You are trying will build this product card in a moment. Did it make sense till now? How the function chain loading? Will you share this recording on WhatsApp? Not the recording. We'll share the whole code base. Is it clear, everyone, till now? What is happening? Now let us move to the product card part. We will move to the product card, right? So over here, can you all see this product card? What is there in this product card? Product card has this header, it has this two prices, it has this rating, image, and add to cart. Yes. Now in the product card, we will first have the heading. Heading is over here. We will just take this title and put it over here. Then you have price in this way. Price is in this way. See, currency INR, value 4999 and discount 55. So you would want to show in this way, 4999 cut to 2249. So you want to create a component which returns you this. Does it make sense? You want to create a custom component which would return you this 2249 and 4999 with the data that is coming. Data is coming in this format. Yes? No? A quick yes or no? Yeah? We would want this data to be shown in this format. So we will build a custom component for this, and we will see how interestingly we make this rating. Let me show you this. Now what we are doing over here is we go to the product card. See, product card, you have this title, we already knew. We will create this currency format component, which we would utilize to get the create this currency format this in this way, this component. Before that, we what we are doing over here is we have created a calculate price details. This is a util method that we have created. Calculate price detail, we have created it under this product. What we are doing over here is we are passing price details to it. Okay, we are passing this whole object to it, the price details. Price details has currency, discount, and value. What we are doing is we are saying that base price is what is the base price? The price details dot value. The value is 4999. So this base price becomes 4999, and final price is nothing but the base price into. So we are just taking the percentage out of this. So we are taking the percentage out of it. What is the final percentage? So the amount of discount over here is 55. So the percentage discount would come up to this, and we are getting the final price. Now whoever was asking why is there this 10 over here, it is conversion to base 10, it is conversion to integer. So that's all you are doing, parse int base 10 conversion. You get the final price, and you pass a flag whether it is discounted or not. If the final price and the base price are equal, then it is not discounted. If it is not equal, then it is discounted. Is it clear till here, everyone? We can use plus also, Devash. Anyone with a no that why we are using this? This is just simple util function. It is a helper function that we are using. Now we go to the product card. We will see what the currency format method is. It is an interesting method that we have built, right? See what we have done. In the currency format, we take the icon. See, all of you can see this icon. Rupee. You want this rupee currency code. We'll add this rupee over here. Now let us see how did we add this rupee over here. So we get this value currency code. See, this currency code is there. currency code is INR. So we what we did is we built this map functions. We built this map functions which says that if it is INR, use ENIN. If it is INR, use this mid currency INR. MDI currency and INR. If it was dollar, they, if the backend was returning dollar, you could have a MDI currency, maybe dollar. It would be there with them, and you utilize it over here. Did you get it? Why did you create? Did we create this map? Interesting, right? Why we created this map? We created this map because this currency can be coming in any format, INR, dollar. For now, we have done only one, INR. And as soon as this INR is encountered, see what we do. We do this. See, in icon, we see currency code icon map. Currency code icon map with INR, whatever is the icon, return that. Does that make sense, everyone? Yes, no? Yes, awesome. Now in the currency, we are just doing value dot to local string. To locale string, what it does is it expects you to tell you what is the what is the locale that you're trying to change it to. ENIN is a acceptable locale, that to locale string. This is a JavaScript function. It expects you to pass the to locale string, expects you to pass this currency code. This currency code is ENIN. It can, there are multiple currency codes, you can see them. We are just utilizing one. So we are using value dot to locale string. Here it will be ENIN, and you are passing that value. Does it make sense? See, this is how this gets rendered. 2249 and 4999. This is how your component gets rendered. So you are getting this component, you are rendering this component, and you are returning it over here. Now currency format is clear. See over here, let us go to product.js, not this one, product card.js. See currency format, we said this is the value. Now in the second one, you are checking if it is discounted or not. If it is discounted, only then you want to showcase this other value which is cut. If it was same, then you would not show, na? Then you would not show. So that is why you are checking is discounted. If the values are discounted, only then you do that again for the base price. First you are doing it for the final price, then you are doing it for the base price. That's all you are doing over here. Now the interesting part comes, how do you show the rating? How do you show the rating? So in the rating, we have created a rating component. Rating component mein you are passing the value of rating and saying that max rating is 5. See over here you have rating. Rating mein you have the value. You are passing rating dot value. Rating mein, now see what we are doing. We are building this rating component. What we do is we what we do is over here, see, we have these 5 stars, so we create new array max rating. What is the maximum rating? We said 5. Dot fill, you are saying dot fill, you are then putting the value 0 in each of the array, like 0 0 0, and then mapping through it. You are mapping through it and saying that for each star, this render this icon star. See this icon which is rating star, we are rendering. See over here, you are rendering this 5 times. You are rendering it the number of times the max rating has been added. Does it make sense? Yes, no? I know it might not have made sense to some people. It is little hard to get on the first go. If it didn't, say no. If it did, say yes. No, I'll explain again. See, you are creating a new array. You are creating a new array which is nothing but an array. You are creating an array with the length of the length of array is the max rating. So you are saying that array's length should be the length of whatever is returned passed in the prop. So you are passing 5, right? You're passing 5. So your new array would be of length 5, and you are filling 0 in all the elements of array. So you're saying 0 0 0 0 0. That's all. Now you loop through that array, then you check if the rating is greater than the index if the rating is greater than the index, what are you doing here? So say suppose the rating is 4. So if 4 is greater than equal to index plus 1, so for the 0th element it would be true. For the 0th element it would be true. So in that case, you want this star to be filled, and you don't want this star to be filled when this. So if it is 4 out of 5, you don't want the fifth star to be filled. So that is exactly what you are doing. So when the rating is 4 na, index would be, you are doing like index will go from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So fifth element, for the fifth element rating would be 4. This becomes false. Is active becomes false. When is active is false, you are saying mdi star outline, only outline star I want. When it is active, I want mdi star, which is the yellow star. Yellow star is mdi star. The only the border star is the mdi star outline. So you are doing this. You are saying when the rating is 4, 4 stars would be of yellow star, 1 star would be of outline star. That's all you are doing over here. And you are just rendering that icon again and again 5 times. You are looping through it. Did it make sense now? Yes, no. Others? Kind of no. Okay, where did I lose you, Renuka and Pradeep? See, rating is nothing but you want to show 4 stars which are filled, one which is empty. So 4 times, 5 times you would loop it, check condition that okay, 4 times it is greater than the index. All whenever it is greater than the index, print the fulfilled star, otherwise the empty star. That's all. Right? All right. Now you put the image over here. You put the image over here. That's all you are doing over here. Let us finish this one last important concept of link to. What is this link to doing? This is important for all of you. If we don't do this, then you will not understand how routers work. Yeah. So what we are doing in this image, on click of this image, you want to render. We have can have the half stars. For now we have not supported it. We have just taken the whole numbers, Pradeep. You on click of this, can you see what is happening? It is taking you to this page. Yes, and this url gets changed, product of one. See, on click of this you want to render it to another page. Where is all the state information stored? The state is in the front end itself, Daniel. The backend has only the data that you want to be manipulated in the front end. Can you all see this? Let us look at this last concept, then we will try to wrap up. We have 2 quizzes, we'll do that. Can you all see this? It is changing the URL. See, when you click it, product of one. You can see this? Yes? So how is this happening? So you are having a link. So this link is provided by the React router. React router mein you are saying that you want to go to this URL product, and whatever the product.id is, you are passing it over here. And this is happening on the click of image. So there is an image. You are enclosing that. It's just like an anchor tag that you use in HTML. So in that anchor tag, you are adding an image, and in that image you are on click of that image you are saying that you want this to be rerouted to product slash product.id. This is a URL that you want it to go. This is by default. You have this product over here, you have the value of product over here. So you are saying that product.id, do this, go to this page. That's all. Okay, so now you want it to go to this, so you use link. Link is something which is provided by React router by default. When you want your, this is how your single page application works. So when you want the spa to work, you want the SPA to work, you are saying that on click of this, on click of this, go to see, you can see the in the bottom as well, localhost product slash one, localhost product slash two. So these are the URLs that are formed dynamically. So you're saying on click of this, take it over here, and it is not re-rendering the whole page, it is just taking you to that products page. And in the products page you can see that it is coming here and using the param that is available here to get the data. You are using the param, product ID would be received. Similar to the last API call, what you are doing over here is you're just doing get product. You are just getting one product with the ID. You are passing the product ID saying that I want the data of this product, get that data, and using that data, you are just showing it on the whole page. All of that data, you know how to show it. Is it information and image slider? You have these two. This image slider is one component and information as one component, and you are showcasing it. Does it make sense? It is dynamically creating the URL pages. Yes. Yes, it makes sense. Now, what would you do here? Also, you want to click and take it to another page. What would you do here? Can anyone tell me? On click of this Amazon, you want to go to the home page. You will have a link to, you will have a link to empty, the slash. You will have a link to the slash URL. That's all. See, I'll show you. In the logo, you have a link to slash. Does it make sense? Yes, link to homepage, link to slash. That's all you are doing over here. Right. I think in the interest of time, we should wrap up. I will give you the repository that we have, and rest of the things you can look at through the repository. Repository is self-explanatory. You will have everything in the repository which will explain things to you. I am pasting the repository link over here. User can't change, na Daniel. User can only change for himself. When he sends it to the use backend will still verify from its database whether the price that is sent by the user is correct or not. Right? L- don't go just now, Baji. Wait for 2 minutes. We have two more questions in the quiz. Let's finish that and then you. Right. I have launched the quiz. Quickly, everyone. So the answer to it is HTML written in JS file. I explained it during the class. And the last quiz, awesome. So now the leaderboard is that we have our winners. Congratulations, Ashwin. Congratulations, Vinayak, Palak, Mukul, Jayaprakash, Armar, and Mahesh. Hard luck, everyone else who could not get through in the top seven. Please wait for 2 minutes. We have quick two things to ask you. Can you please vote to this poll? It is very important for me personally as an instructor to understand how to cater all of you better. Yeah, please. It is a request from everyone. Whatever you felt, please answer to this. Maybe we can all connect on LinkedIn as well, and we can, go about things from there. But please answer to this poll quickly. Awesome. I am sorry, but there is one more left. Can you please answer this poll quickly? It helps us better our content the next time we meet. Thank you, everyone, whoever has joined the masterclass today. It was awesome. It was great teaching you all, talking to you all. Yeah. And we, I hope that I was able to impart some knowledge to all of you, right? I hope that I was able to tell you something that you might have not known, and you all take away something from this masterclass. If you want, we can connect on LinkedIn. We can go about things from there. It was awesome teaching you all. Just quickly answer this last poll and we'll wrap up. Thank you, everyone. It was great talking to you all. The branch that you need to clone is the master branch. Everyone, you need to just clone the master branch, and you can go about things from there. Everything would be there in that master branch. Just clone that. You will get the certificate. Join the uh, Discord channel. You will get most of the information there. Yeah. I have sent the code. I'll paste it again. You can, Devash, if just complete the project, Devash, and add few more features here and there, and then you can definitely. Discord link, it is pinned. The Discord link is pinned. I will again send it to all of you. Shreya, can you do that? If you are,
Yeah, sure.
yeah. Code is available forever. Code is available forever. You can utilize this code anytime you need it. Right. So Shreya has sent the Discord channel. Please join the Discord channel for further communication. Anything that you require, you can get through the Discord channel. Yeah. If you want to personally connect with me, you want to discuss something with me, you can do that on LinkedIn. If you want to connect with the community, you can do that on Discord. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot for attending the masterclass. It was awesome talking to you all. Bye bye. Good night.